I finished college a year and a half ago, and I just realized that it's finals week, and so I felt like reliving the horror that was the first final that I ever took. Coincidentally, it was also the first class that I ever took, and that was calculus, which I took at 8 a.m. my freshman year. I never took pre-calc because when I was in high school, I had the choice of taking either that or AP Statistics, and I chose the one that would give me college credit, which was AP Statistics. Now, I barely feel like that should even be able to call itself a math class because it has very, very little to do with actual numbers. All that is to say that I was wildly unprepared. For about the first week of class, I felt like I was doing okay because that was mostly review of things that I should have already known. And once the class started to ramp up, I was really, really lost. Another problem that I had was that because high school was so easy for me, I never learned how to study. So finally, by the time it was a week before the final, I think I had like a 67 going into it, and I just really had no idea whether I was gonna pass this class. And then the professor gave us this packet that was like 50 practice questions, and she said that it was optional extra credit. If we wanted to do it and if we wanted to turn it in, then she would give us some number of points and was very vague about it. But I realized that I really, really needed to learn this stuff, so I did every single one of those 50 questions. And then I also went back, because I had written down all my assignments in this little planner I had. I knew all of the homework that had been assigned the entire semester. So I went back through the textbook and did every single one of those problems. Somehow, over the time span of the week before the final, I managed to learn the entire semester's material. And because of the weird way that finals were scheduled, even though I took this class at 8 in the morning, my final was scheduled from 8 to 11 p.m. in a building that I had never been in before. So I was wandering around, and I felt like I was going around in circles before I finally found the classroom. So I sit down at one of the desks, I get my final, and I feel like, okay, I've studied as much as I possibly can for this. I am as prepared as I really could be given how badly of a situation I put myself into. I started taking the tests. The first couple questions I remember were relatively easy, and then I got to one that I just had no idea what it was even asking. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna stress about this, skipped the question, kept going. And I was able to do that thing where you kind of jump around between different parts, and certain problems remind you of how to do certain other ones. So I struggled my way through it. And I remember handing in the final and just being so defeated and drained. As I was walking back towards my dorm, I remembered that my university had additional finals week dining center hours. So where they would normally close at like 8 or 9 p.m., they reopened from 10 to midnight so people could have snacks. And I remember getting 4 hard-boiled eggs and I think some of the like potatoes and bacon and stuff. And I just sat down, and as I was busily eating my feelings, my RA comes and sits down next to me and starts making conversation. I just had my calculus final and it was terrible, and I didn't know what I was doing, and she assured me everything was gonna be okay. And then I found out that I ended up getting a B on this final, even though I was doing terribly before then. Doing a lot better on the final than I did on most of the tests, combined with the extra credit packet, really boosted my grade up. Even though I passed the class, if you ask me now if I know any calculus, the answer is absolutely not.